Hello, I'm Mike. In this video, I'll show you my elite vibe coding stack for right now, including terminal control, autonomous coding, and plugins that allow me to work at 100 times speed or possibly even more. Plus, by the end of the video, I'll vibe code an app that analyzes my DNA.
I'm not sure if I told you, but I fed Claude Code my entire genome.
There you go. There's a short clip from the podcast that gave me the inspiration. Feeding your DNA, essentially, we're probably lines of code, and now we can have AI analyze it. Let's dive in and see what I'm using. I'm paying $100 a month for Max from Claude to use Claude Code. In fact, I burnt through 5 times in a day, so I pay for the 20 times usage. But I work even faster than that thanks to this awesome plugin. You should watch a clip.
About a month ago, I put out a GitHub repo called GSD, which is a Claude Code framework that allows you to, as the title implies, get done more effectively and consistently using Claude Code.
And that is absolutely true. This dude, Tasha's Teachers, has made this amazing framework that's on GitHub. But don't worry, it's super easy to install GSD, and it excels vibe coding, especially if you don't know much about how you want to create a vibe-coded app. Let me show you. And to do this, I've popped open Terminus. Terminus is an elite terminal app that allows you to work with multiple terminals. So here's my local terminal, but the best thing is I can actually pop open another local terminal and then drag and drop it wherever I want and organize these terminals everywhere so I can have 2, 4, 8 terminal windows all open in one app. It's really cool. Over here, I'm going to install GSD. It's just a one-line command and it installs or updates to the latest version. I indeed confirm I want to use it with Claude Code. I want it global on all of my projects, and I want to keep the existing setup because I've already got it installed. And now to give you a flavor of how GSD works, I'm going to run Claude dangerously skip permissions so that I don't have to confirm every command, and we'll just create something very simply with GSD. So once you've installed it, you can do / and all the GSD commands appear. So I can do GSD new project. It's here as an auto suggest. It will set everything up for me. And the best thing is it makes a framework to reference so it never forgets the project I'm working on. Just imagine you get down the line and it forgets how you put payments in or how you did notifications or whatever it is in your app. GSD helps you to remember everything. So you'll see here, it's questioning me, what do you want to build? This is part of the GSD plugin, and I can just say, I want to make a Kanban board with database to remember my vibe coding projects. And then GSD is going to think about that and ask me a few more questions until it's clear on what I'm building. And you'll see these questions coming back are all part of the GSD plugin. It says, I want to make sure I understand what you're after when you say vibe coding projects. Are they side projects? You hack on when inspiration strikes. What kind of information do you want to remember? So I'll say, yes, side projects. All right, now it's asked me those basic questions. It's actually given me some options on the build. So I definitely want backlog, in progress, done, on hold as well. Let's have everything and go to the next step. Who's using this? Well, of course, I can make it available to others, but I'll just say just me to start with. Submit the answers. GSD builds me this amazing framework to make an app. So already it says keeps it simple, no auth is needed. And I'll say I want the project name and description, a to-do list, a Git repo link, and some notes would be good too. We'll confirm that and we can choose what kind of app. I think actually a web app would be perfect. So let's confirm that and submit my answers. And look at that. This is my favorite part of GSD. It spawned 4 researchers in parallel. So I'm working at like 4 times speed in Claude Code with a stack researcher, a feature researcher, architecture researcher, and even a pitfall researcher for any problems we might come across in the project. And by the way, this is fantastic. I can see all my agents working in parallel and I can keep an eye on context window. And the best thing is because GSD keeps track of everything, I can clear the context of Claude Code and it'll never forget my project. Well, seeing as a bunch of agents are now running for me there, let's move on to my DNA project and come back to the Kanban board towards the end of the video. By the way, Cursor is another part of my elite stack. You can have all kinds of different plans. I've had the $20 a month plan for nearly ever, and it's been fantastic for me. But many people want to work with Claude Code and do parallel tasks inside Cursor, so often the $60 a month plan can be really good value. Okay, I'm going to run the dev version. That's going to fire up my app that I built earlier this week and last week, and it's popped it on localhost, which now opens inside the wonderful Cursor. I don't even need to go into a web browser. And it's really good to have a Cursor subscription because if something goes wrong with your app, you can actually use the selector here and select parts of your app and then prompt the agent over here on the right-hand side and tell it to fix a certain part of your app. So whereas Claude Code and GSD works to build the app, if you have a specific visual problem, you can select it and fix it in Cursor. All right, I'm going to be brave. Yes, many years ago, I spat into a tube and I downloaded my whole genome. This is insane. This 15.5 megabyte file is literally my DNA as lines of code. And when I click open, it actually analyzes it super fast and finds all of my genetics. And the best thing is I made this app to work locally. So none of your DNA touches the cloud or AI models unless you authorize it. There are so many services that ask you to upload your DNA. You don't know the privacy of that. So I thought, why not vibe code something that does it on my device? Let's click the Analyze My DNA button, and you'll see I've asked it to look into certain things such as repair and maybe supplementation, and it says sleep debt affects me more than others and gives me actual medical references to that, support with antioxidants and some moderate sun exposure, and also efficient processing of certain compounds, whatever that is. I can analyze another file, but what is really cool here is I'm building out other parts of this app, such as a curiosity engine. And this is where I can feed lines of my DNA to certain AI models and get it to analyze and tell me how I should eat, sleep, my neurochemistry, my longevity, and the types of exercise I should do. In one click, it sends it to AI. So you'll see here now it's analyzing and it's going to tell me any discoveries it finds in my DNA. And look at that, it's analyzing nutrition and sleep, and it's already found 3 things about me that I probably didn't know. Okay, it's gone to exercise now. It's found out 11 cool things about me by feeding DNA lines to an AI model. This is really cool. And look at this, it's given me established scientific responses, such as optimizing my melatonin efficiency with blue light blocking tools 90 minutes before bed. What else have I got here? High sleep debt vulnerability, so sleep 7.5 to 8 hours every night. Low caffeine sensitivity, so I might not feel wired from late day caffeine, but I should probably stop drinking at 2 p.m. And that, I know, it's right for me. Enhanced neuroplasticity and learning capacity. Oh my goodness, capitalized on high BDNF by scheduling complex learning or motor skill practice immediately following physical exercise. I would have had no idea I needed to do something like that without this vibe-coded app. And what have we got here? Maintain a diet rich in tryptophan, pumpkin seeds, and turkey and eggs, and ensure consistent morning sunlight. Well, it's a good job I'm now in Cyprus, where we get that virtually daily. And apparently I have the warrior dopamine profile, which means I should do high-intensity interval training and utilize cold exposure. Good job I'm doing that to naturally elevate my baseline dopamine levels. So it's a bit like being in the Matrix, but feeding a 15.5 megabyte file to AI results in some really interesting insights. So what do you think of my DNA Decoder app? Leave a comment down below. Let me know how you'd use it, and if you'd use it. If enough people say they're interested, I'll make it open source. Other parts of this app I've made are Deep Consensus, where I can use an AI model to run over all of my DNA multiple times, and it will even give me the cost of doing so. So if I increase the runs, it will increase, and if I choose a higher quality model, it will cost more money. And it's good that I know how much it will cost all along the way, because 600,000 lines of DNA can be quite costly to analyze on expensive models. Then I've got a Did You Know? Your stress response and focus patterns may be more extreme than average. Very interesting factoids there. And even protocols such as supplements I should take for optimum health, which is absolutely incredible, but of course very experimental. So I should probably put a disclaimer here that this is purely for fun and not medical advice. I'm also working on a chat mode over here that pops open an Oracle chat so I can chat with my DNA, which is insane. I can use a local or a cloud-based AI model, and I've got God mode here that literally analyzes every strand of DNA and tries to spot patterns that humans have never spotted before. By the way, I'm just vibe coding here. I'm not a geneticist and I don't have any background in DNA. But if you do and you want to collaborate with me on this project, let me know down below in the comments. Now, this is all great and a lot of fun for me to vibe code, but I actually want to add one more feature right now, which is to create a presentation of my DNA. And I figured I'd use a tool such as Gamma. It makes awesome presentations. It'd be great to have a flip-through presentation board with visual graphics. And I thought about vibe coding it and feeding the API, but look at the API. It's a tangle of code and like confusing developer terms. I could try and copy and paste the right things or just hope that Claude Code researches the right page. But there's another way. Why vibe code it when there's actually an integration here with Zapier? Yes, they actually integrate and they update the API themselves all the time. So all I need to do is vibe code a webhook from Zapier into my app, and I can create presentations from my DNA. So over here in my Zapier account, I'll create a new Zap. As the trigger, we'll search for webhook. The trigger will be to catch a hook from my app. You'll see it actually gives me a webhook URL, which I'll copy. And now over here, I'm running Claude dangerously skip permissions on my DNA decoder, and I'm going to paste in that webhook. This is very important. And then we'll finish building out the automation here in Zapier. I'll search for Gamma. I'll need to sign into my Gamma account here. All right, now we need to map something through to this. So before I complete the automation, let's vibe code this feature in Claude Code. So you'll see here in Claude Code, I've given the webhook URL. I've said place a simple button to create a presentation from my DNA results. And when they click it, it sends 5 fun and non-serious facts about DNA to the webhook provided. When it's created, make a sample test to the webhook just for testing. And always value simplicity over complexity so we can actually get this feature implemented by the end of the video. And as I'm not using GSD, it should go through really quickly, add this feature so we can test it out. Oh, and you can see it's already working on it. And while it does, let's look back at my Kanban project, and it looks like it's just about finishing up here. So we'll take a look at that, vibe coded from one prompt in just a moment. Okay, it's finished the feature and it actually sent a webhook to Zapier. So let's go ahead and check that. Back here in the webhook, I can actually go ahead and test the trigger to see if it's come through. And indeed, it pulled in a record just here. And we've got lovely facts. So now I can actually test if this vibe coded app will work. Let's continue, and we'll go to Gamma, and then here for the configuration, I can do / and you can see all of the DNA fun facts are here. So we're going to choose the fun facts and pull those in. For the text mode, we'll go for condense, summarize the content, make a presentation. Theme, we can indeed choose a theme from the selected themes. Let's go for alien, seeing as we're working with DNA. We can choose the number of cards if we like and choose other settings. I'll leave them all as is. I'll click continue, and you can actually see at the bottom I've got create presentation. That was just a one-line vibe code addition. Let's test it out for real. Okay, it's sent via Zapier's integration. Pretty cool. And now look at this. I've got my DNA presentation on screen that was created using the Zapier integration for Gamma via my vibe-coded app. My DNA decoded. Apparently, gene 1, I'm a zombie apocalypse survivor with a warrior gene. Very nice. The espresso sponge, superpower, caffeine immunity. Yeah, looks pretty cool to me. I also have the Cinderella syndrome where, yes, I'm a morning person. I need my 8 hours of sleep. I'm a sprinter and not a jogger, so power runs for me then. Sprint versus marathon. A genetic tragedy. I'm built for dashes and catching trains, escaping awkward conversations, definitely, and dramatic chase scenes, but not for long distance, marathon, leisurely jogs, or anything else that requires sustained effort. Very interesting to know. And the best thing is, if the Gamma API updates, Zapier will follow it and keep it working. But if I vibe coded it, my app would just break. Okay, and that one-shot Kanban board is now complete. I can start a new project. I can call it DNA Decoder, for instance. I can make a GitHub repository link here. I can add some notes, understand my DNA with AI, and I can even add tasks. Find a genetic expert. And we'll add that in and save. Everything works perfectly. I've got a backlog. I can move it to in progress, on hold. Pretty good for a one-shotted app, and I had that all done for me while I was actually showing you my DNA app. And of course, if I need to go in, just click it and it takes me straight back in to edit this or even delete this card. So there you go. Claude Code running inside Terminus with multiple windows using cursor for visibility and visual changes, and Zapier to make sure integrations in my vibe-coded app never break. That's my elite vibe coding stack for right now. Let me know if you change anything there. Use the comment section down below. I'll be interested to hear what you think. Thank you so much for watching, and YouTube is showing a video on your screen now you should watch next. Thanks.